Capricorn, while I was tuning into your energy, it felt like you were very serious, very honed in and disciplined, either right now or throughout the month of November. I feel like communication is something that's going to be very, very important, as well as working towards your ideals. I really feel like consistency is the key to success for you in the month of November. If you're looking forward to this month's reading, then definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. For those of you who are brand new, my name is Michael, and I utilize tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. And I actually do have a little favor to ask before we dive into today's reading. As many of you have noticed, I am now going by a different name. I'm now using Serafino Esoterica across all of my social media. Part of the inspiration for this new name is that I'm really excited to branch out and kind of broaden more than just tarot and astrology videos. I love doing these readings for all of you. It's really such a gift. And I also really want to talk about some other things. So if you have any questions or topics that you would like me to cover, definitely feel free to leave me a comment or send me a message, especially on Instagram. That's probably one of the best ways to get a hold of me. You can actually find all of my links for my social media accounts and my website in the description of this video. I will never reach out to you to solicit my services. Anyone who does this is just a fake account, so you can report and block them. And I just really appreciate all the support that you've given this channel and to me over these years. It really is a gift to do this work, and I'm so excited to continue putting out information and readings for all of you. Before we jump right into the tarot, I actually did pull a couple of animal cards while I was tuning into your energy, and I had the stingray followed by the cobra coming out. And this was really interesting because I feel like when the stingray comes in, it's kind of like maneuvering through something that could potentially be uncomfortable, or, you know, there's kind of different emotional pulls at play, and it feels like you need to be flexible. Because I really see the stingray as moving through the currents, riding the currents. And it feels like for this group, it's something about like uncoiling as well. And I think I'm getting this with the cobra. It feels like a lot of you are kind of waiting for the time to strike or take action on something, or there's something that you are readying yourself for. And I feel like a lot of you are also becoming more attuned to your inner guide, your inner teacher. That is something that feels really important in November. I could also see like elder, like becoming an elder in some way. I'm hearing that. I really feel like a lot of you have had to gain wisdom through experience. And it's been a struggle. It's been a challenge. You've had to go through a lot. You've kind of had to learn to swim in uncomfortable circumstances and how to move forward in uncomfortable circumstances, because it's not like you're waiting in a passive way. Like, you still have to function, you still have to move. And you've been doing this. And I think having Pluto in your sign over the past 20 years, you've had a huge period of growth that many zodiac signs will not see in their lifetime, frankly. And I feel like with Pluto starting to leave your sign, it's kind of doing this dance between Capricorn and Aquarius. You've really had to be refined, polished in some way. All the while living, paying your bills, doing what you need to do. And I feel like there's something that you've been learning from this, or something that you are, it's almost like you are an example for other people. Interesting. For the past energy, we have the Ten of Wands and the Two of Cups. It feels like you've had to learn who you can rely on, Or maybe there are people who are really close to you who have been going through a lot, and maybe you've felt disconnected from them. It could be both. Because I feel like there's been a relationship, a very close relationship, that's been challenged. Maybe some of you have even let go of a relationship because it was too much of a burden, or you just didn't have the capacity for it. Or maybe you haven't even been able to focus on relationships because you've been working so hard or just burnt out. It just feels like a relationship has been challenged by other circumstances. That's what I'm getting very clearly. Interesting. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse with the Moon. Things have been kind of murky for a while. Again, this could be involving another person, especially a Pisces energy with the Moon here. I feel like you've honestly just lacked motivation. You've been so burnt out, you've kind of lost passion in your life. And I don't even want to say burnt out because it's like, I feel like you're feeling a little lost, Capricorn. And you've kind of been wondering, like, what's the point of all of this? And I spent a lot of time focusing on what you've been going through and these challenges. And it feels like for this group, it's hard to see that sometimes. Or maybe most of the time. What am I supposed to make this struggle mean? I feel there's a lack of direction. I feel like that there has been a lack of direction, I should say. And the truth is, I feel like with the Moon upright, you kind of have to tread through some murky waters. It's not going to be really clear at first. And maybe that's why it feels like you need to have this resolve. I feel like things have been happening slower than you want them to. I do think there is a bit of focus on your mental health this month as well. And especially into December when we are into Sagittarius season. Yeah, there's a big turning point that is happening in November. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And it feels like things have been going so slowly, they've been very challenging, and now all of a sudden there's this big change. And while this is usually an exciting energy, I feel like some of you are actually nervous about the changes that are happening this month. And I'm really looking at this image quite closely, and I'm just seeing this woman with the blindfold at the wheel, at the helm. And it's like trusting the universe, trusting these forces that you are feeling to navigate you forward, even if you don't fully know where you're going. And maybe from the Moon to the Wheel of Fortune, it's like the unknown, the uncertainty of something is now actually starting to become more exciting, but I do feel like that is a process for most of you. I do feel you are reconnecting with something important in the month of November with the Six of Cups as well, or reconnecting with your inner child, reconnecting to a simpler time, to a time you felt more direction, more guidance. You knew who you wanted to be. You knew who you wanted to be with. You knew who was close to you. There could be a big heart-to-heart conversation that you are having. Honestly, Capricorn, it feels like a lot of you have been trying to move forward. You've been trying to enter into a new chapter in your life. And ironically, the way that you do that is by revisiting the past, reevaluating the past. Maybe some of you are visiting your home, your childhood home, or connecting with your family or origin in some way. And it's interesting, at the beginning of this reading, I felt like there was a lot of focus. There was a lot of discipline. But there wasn't necessarily a sense of clarity. Okay, big energy. Judgment. This is the change and maybe challenge for you this month. Judgment with the 5 of Swords. Judgment can sometimes represent things coming back from the dead. Judgment Day, resurrection, deciding the ultimate fate of something. And the 5 of Swords can indicate a situation we have walked away from, or something that was challenging to move away from. I feel like you haven't really been able to do that, though. I feel like there's something that you are resolving from the past this month, and maybe even into December. Nine of Swords. There could be some anxiety, some restlessness. Maybe you're having a hard time sleeping or having dreams that are waking you up at night. And I'm looking at these tools, and while they may appear menacing, they're also necessary and useful. I'm really looking at this card, and I feel like you have the tools to succeed, Capricorn. You already have this thing. You know, I feel like some of you have been soul searching. You've been seeking for a while. You've been trying to figure out how to move forward. And like, I think you're looking for something that you already have. The Tower. Whew. I feel like there's a breaking point this month. Interesting looking at these tools with the Tower, because it's like these tools can be used to build, but they can also be used to destroy or dismantle. I'm looking at this tower as like a childhood home. It feels like you are going through something that's really emotional. And also, you're being very composed with this. despite everything that's happening, I feel like people look at you like the cobra. They see you as this guide. They see you as this teacher. But you do feel the pressure. And maybe that's why it's important to connect with someone or reconnect with someone. What is this tower about? What is this tower about? Show us clearly, please. Ace of Wands. You know, sometimes when I look at the tower, it's like, are you starting this fire? And especially in these two cards, it feels like you are clearing out something that no longer serves you. There's also very strong Mars energy with the tower here. I also kind of think of Pluto, but Mars is definitely a very activated planet this month. Mars is also in the sign of Scorpio, where it is very much at home. And so we have Mars really lighting you up in a way where I'm just hearing like, never again. This is never happening to me again. I'm never doing this again. Like something is causing you to break a cycle. And I feel like some of you may have been trying to walk away from a truth, but you're not able to do that. There could be some patterns that you've repeated throughout your life, and it's like, you're saying no. And maybe you don't even know what else there is to do or how else you're supposed to move forward. You just know what you can't stand for anymore. Knowing what you can't stand for, that feels really, really important actually this month. Your energy is so serious, Capricorn. The Knight of Pentacles. Taking what you need and going off is how I'm really seeing this card. This Knight of Pentacles with the backpack. And I felt that before. It's like you have what you need. You have the tools, the skills, the resources, whatever it is. You can move forward. It just feels intimidating or scary at first. But I feel like once you start making those steps, once you start moving forward, it becomes easier. The first step is always the hardest. I feel like I need to pull an oracle card for you as well. How are we on time? I'm going to pull a couple oracle cards for you. I feel like you're just going through something really significant, and I don't want to rush this reading. I know some people don't like the longer readings, but I really just feel like something very serious is happening for the collective I'm tapped into right now. You have a new moon, a new start is coming. There is a new beginning, and I feel like things are still taking form. We actually do have the new moon this month on November 13th. And it is going to be conjunct Mars. There is a new beginning. Saying yes to change. And it's like you've been waiting for something for so long, and I actually feel like, Capricorn, you're supposed to be the one who initiates the next chapter or make the next move. New moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side. Beautiful, beautiful. The new moon in Sagittarius is actually happening in December. So it's not the next new moon from the time of recording, but it's the one after that, the following new moon. Really could be a significant period for you. This could be like turning over a new leaf. I feel like there's a lot of focus on your mental health, on your spirituality during this time, because whenever we're in the season before our sign, there's kind of this reflective energy, right? And a full moon in Cancer, a personal issue reaches resolution. And I feel like this is especially involving family or people who feel like family, maybe something with childhood patterns or conditions that you are rewriting or changing. Yeah, this feels like a really important month. And honestly, I think it's signifying a step that you are taking towards something, Capricorn. It doesn't necessarily feel like there is something major that you are finishing. It feels like there is something that you are starting, although you are finding some sort of resolution that is emotional in nature. What is going on in relationships actually for you? What is going on in relationships? Because I feel like it's been hard to connect with people or to connect with someone. Four of Cups. I feel like there's a conversation that you've been avoiding having, or like someone has been avoiding having it, and I just feel like something is going to have to be addressed. Anything else here with this Four of Cups? Queen of Cups. I feel like there's confusion or like maybe some projection that's going on, if I can be totally honest. I feel like in the context of relationship, it feels like there's projection on both sides, or like assumptions that are being made on both sides. Where it's like someone is waiting for the other person to speak or do something. And it's kind of hard to track who is feeling what. Like there's this sort of like empathic confusion between the two of you. It just feels important to figure out how you are feeling. Because I think maybe in relationships, both of you are making your feelings about something else other than what they actually are. The Lovers in reverse. There is kind of like this mirror image, and it's interesting looking at this Lovers because it's like kind of your light side confronting your shadow side. It feels like there's some element of projection and also like avoidance going on there too. Some of you may be disconnected from a person you are very close to, or not coming into relationship with people because it's like there is something about that is making you face a part of yourself, a need, a wound that feels uncomfortable. And this could go in reverse as well. Any of these messages could really be flipped around in these general readings, but I actually do feel like it's both of you, or you and another energy. Like there's something about avoidance and projection that's happening at the same time. And it feels like it could be related to trauma or upbringing. It feels like there's something very deep that's being triggered, but also that needs to be addressed. And I think I'm going to pull a color healing card for you as well. I always read these straight from the booklet, but you're welcome to use these colors in whatever way makes sense to you. What is the healing color for Capricorn? Interesting that this is coming up. Turquoise, awaken your empathy. And I feel like this color is really trying to help you figure out what is you and what is another person. Because I do feel like you're projecting onto other people. I'm just going to say it. I know people don't like pointed messages a lot of the time in these tarot readings, but it feels like, I just got to be honest, Capricorn, it feels like some of you are casting someone in a light that is more about you than them. And I know that's kind of a big thing. Obviously, this is a general reading. Could be reversed. It could be reversed. That could be something that you are receiving, but I feel like there's not seeing an eye to eye, regardless of how this is playing out. And this is why this color is coming in. Turquoise inspires the use of communication with feelings, builds confidence in your abilities, and connects you with your intuition and awakens your empathy. Turquoise makes ancient wisdom available and provides a sense of connection to your inner mastery. Hold something turquoise to awaken your empathy for others. When you empathize with people, you let go of your judgments and place yourself in their shoes. Allow your spirit to soften and receive an opportunity to support, encourage, and inspire others. Hold something turquoise, a crystal, some fabric, a flower, to remind you of your ability to help others. Then, tell someone who needs to hear it that you care about them. The biggest way to prevent diseases is to show others that they matter. Say, I can now place myself in others' shoes and talk to them from a place of love and compassion. Yeah, judgment. There's something about judgment. That card literally came out. Like, I feel like someone has cast judgment. Maybe both people have cast judgment. Maybe it's even a group of people. And I think with all of this warrior energy that's in the air right now, with this very powerful Mars energy in November, I feel like you are supposed to be the source of love in a way, Capricorn. To really empathize. And like that's, I think what this tower represents, it's not like, yes, you're doing something decisive. You are ultimately like dismantling some sort of system or some internalized conditioning, but like enough is enough. Like, what was the message I had earlier? Like, there's something really distinct. Like, I can never let this happen again. I can never do this again. Something like that. And it's like this never again. Like, there's just this energy of never again. And like, it's in such an open, unfolded way where it's not like this aggression, this hate. It's like, I almost feel like you are feeling sorry for humanity, or just sorry that for someone who is so lost. And it's interesting because I feel like you have felt lost, but when you're looking outside, it's like the thing you needed all along was the love you had inside of you and the love you're supposed to share with other people. And I know this is like such a cliche, very like, very love and light kind of reading. But I really feel that is the gift you were supposed to give at this time. And I'm so curious to hear how this lands. This feels like a very different reading. It feels like something is shifting in a very unexpected way and in a very like subtle way, but also profound. So yeah, I'm very curious to hear from all of you. I am sending you lots of beautiful energy this November. If you do feel called to work together, we have links in the description of this video for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions. I also do chart readings as well. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care.